Okay, so you want to understand this whole fight or flight response.
It's fascinating, really.
Yeah. I mean, we're hardwired for survival, right?
Absolutely.
But these days, it feels like stress is just like the background music of our lives.
Right?
And you sent over this blog post, Flight or Fight, Understanding Your Stress Response from Calm Within Chaos. It was published, what, just the other day, October 25th, 2024,
Yep, that's right.
to really dive deep into this whole thing.
For sure.
So let's unearth the ancient origins of this response.
Okay.
Explore how this primal mechanism gets hijacked by modern life.
Yeah.
And equip you with the tools to, reclaim control and build resilience.
That's the goal.
What's so interesting is how this response is so deeply rooted in our biology,
It is.
It was absolutely crucial for human survival for centuries.
Oh, yeah. Think dodging predators and all that.
That's exactly the analogy the blog uses. They talk about saber-toothed tigers.
Makes sense.
But today, it's not really about those physical threats anymore, is it?
Not in the same way, no.
So what is it about then?
Well, imagine your sympathetic nervous system as the security alarm.
Okay.
When it senses danger, real or perceived, it blasts that alarm and floods your body with adrenaline.
So that's what gives you that heart-racing, palm-sweating, gotta-act fast feeling.
That's exactly it.
Like when you're about to give a presentation and your heart starts pounding.
Precisely.
So that's the sympathetic nervous system in action.
It is.
So where does adrenaline come in?
Well, that's actually where the difference between adrenaline and cortisol comes in.
Okay.
Adrenaline is like the sprinter. It gives you that quick burst of energy to deal with an immediate threat.
Like that presentation I mentioned.
Exactly.
Right.
But cortisol, that's the marathon runner.
Oh, interesting.
Designed to keep us going during those times of prolonged stress.
So the blog post does a good job highlighting that difference.
It does.
So adrenaline is short bursts, and cortisol kicks in for the long haul.
Right.
But the blog post also mentions problems with long-term cortisol.
It does, yeah.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, it's interesting. Our ancestors, they might have faced a hungry lion.
Right.
But after they escaped or fought it off, they got to rest and recover,
Sure.
Cortisol helped them through that acute stress. But modern work culture, it's like we're facing constant deadlines. Like that lion is always around the corner.
Oh, I see.
We never reach the finish line of that marathon.
Oh, wow.
So we end up with those problems the blog mentions, sleep issues, weakened immunity, and even those chronic diseases.
So our bodies are basically treating deadlines like hungry predators.
In a way, yes.
Maybe we should start bringing spears to the office. But seriously, though, the blog post also points out this isn't just a physical thing.
Right.
It affects our minds, too.
Absolutely.
So how does stress impact our minds?
Well, it has a huge impact on our emotions, our thoughts, and even our ability to make good decisions.
So it affects our decision-making as well.
Yes. Think about it. That fight or flight response, it can actually be helpful in certain situations.
Oh.
It can sharpen our focus, help us think quickly on our feet.
Sure.
Which is great if you need to react in a split second.
Yeah, like if you need to swerve to avoid an accident, you need that quick thinking.
Exactly.
But I'm guessing that's not always the case.
You're right.
When is it not the case?
When we're chronically stressed, that same fight or flight response can backfire on us.
How so?
Instead of making us sharp, it can lead to poor judgment.
Oh, wow.
A narrowed focus, we miss the bigger picture.
I see.
We might even find it harder to process information
Okay.
and make sound decisions.
Really?
It's like our brains are stuck in overdrive, and that can lead to all sorts of problems.
So it's like that feeling when you have a million things on your to-do list.
Yeah.
And you can't seem to focus on any of them.
Exactly.
Your brain is basically stuck in that danger zone.
That's a great way to put it.
And I can see how that would make it tough to think clearly.
It does.
So that's why understanding the psychological side of this stress response is so important.
It's crucial.
And that's where the blog post gets into managing this whole thing, right?
Yes.
They talk about mindfulness and relaxation techniques.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Well, those are some of the tools we can use to manage this stress response.
I'm ready to learn how to chill out.
Okay, great.
But before we get into the how-to, let's unpack the why behind these techniques.
Okay.
Why do they work?
Sure.
What's the science behind it all?
Well, remember how we talked about that sympathetic nervous system being like a security alarm?
Yes. blasting your body with adrenaline.
Right.
It's like your body is constantly on high alert.
Exactly. And these relaxation techniques, they're designed to activate the parasympathetic nervous system,
Okay.
which is essentially your body's built-in chill switch.
Oh, I like that. A chill switch.
Yeah.
So it's like turning down the volume on that alarm system.
Precisely.
Interesting.
And techniques like deep breathing, they're especially powerful
Why is that?
because they send a signal to your brain that everything is okay.
Oh, I see.
It helps lower your heart rate, ease muscle tension, and even calm those racing thoughts.
So deep breathing is basically like hitting the reset button on your stress response.
You got it.
And the best part is you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. No special equipment or yoga mat required.
That's good to know because, let's be real, who has time for a full-on yoga retreat
Right.
when you're juggling deadlines, errands, life in general?
But sure.
But even 5 minutes of deep breathing could make a difference.
Absolutely. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to managing your stress response.
Wow. Okay.
We've got a whole toolkit of techniques to explore.
This is getting really interesting. I'm already feeling a bit calmer just thinking about it.
Haha, that's a great sign. It means you're starting to tap into that inner power we were talking about.
All right, so we've laid the groundwork.
Yeah.
We understand what fight or flight is, how it works, and why it can be both a blessing and a curse in our modern world.
That's right.
But now I'm really curious to learn more about those specific techniques,
Okay.
the ones that can help us activate that chill switch.
For sure.
Shall we dive into those next?
Let's do it. Let's get practical then.
Okay.
We've talked about how crucial understanding your stress response is.
Right.
Now let's explore those techniques from the Calm Within Chaos blog post that can actually help you manage it better.
Yeah, bring on the chill. The blog starts with relaxation techniques.
That sounds promising.
It does, yeah.
It definitely delivers.
Yeah.
These techniques aim to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in chill switch.
Ooh, I like that.
And they start with deep breathing exercises.
Deep breathing, huh? It seems almost too simple,
Right.
but the blog really emphasizes its power.
And there's a reason for that.
Okay, what is it?
Deep, slow breaths tell your brain that everything is okay.
Okay.
It lowers your heart rate, eases muscle tension, and calms those racing thoughts.
And they even give specific instructions in the blog post,
You do.
like taking slow, deep breaths, focusing on your belly rising and falling,
That's right.
even counting breaths to help you stay focused.
It helps.
So what's the point of all that?
It's all about breaking that stress cycle.
Okay.
When you're stressed, your breathing gets shallow and rapid,
Right.
which actually feeds the anxiety.
Oh, interesting.
By consciously shifting to slower, deeper breaths, you're basically telling your body to relax.
So deep breathing acts like a pressure valve, releasing that built-up tension in your system.
I could say that.
And the best part is you can do it anywhere, anytime.
Exactly.
At your desk, in traffic,
Yep.
even waiting in line at the grocery store. No excuses.
None.
So what's next on this relaxation technique list?
Next up is progressive muscle relaxation.
Okay, that sounds a bit more involved.
It does.
So walk me through it.
It's actually pretty straightforward.
Okay.
You systematically tense and then relax different muscle groups in your body.
Starting with your toes, working your way up through your feet, legs, all the way to your head and face.
Exactly, like the blog post suggests.
Got it.
And the key is to really focus on the sensations of both tension and release.
So what's the benefit of that?
Well, by tensing your muscles, you become aware of where you're holding stress in your body.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like giving yourself a mini massage from the inside out.
Exactly.
And then as you relax those muscles, you're letting go of that tension.
Right.
Both physically and mentally.
It's a powerful technique.
This would be a game changer for people who carry stress in their bodies,
It would.
like those always tense folks with tight shoulders.
Absolutely.
So what else is there?
And finally, we have visualization.
Visualization. This one's all about the power of the mind.
It is.
So what's the idea behind it?
The idea is to use your imagination to create a peaceful, relaxing scene in your mind.
Okay.
Like picturing a place that makes you feel calm and happy.
Like a beach, a forest, or my cozy living room.
Exactly, as the blog post suggests.
Got it.
And engage all your senses.
So what does that mean?
What do you see, hear, smell, feel, even taste?
Wow.
The more vivid the image, the more powerful the relaxation response.
It's like taking a mini vacation in your own mind. You can do it anytime, anywhere.
You can.
A perfect escape when you can't physically leave a stressful situation.
That's right.
Okay, so we've covered deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and visualization. All great techniques for calming down in the moment.
They are.
But the blog post also digs into some longer-term strategies, right?
It does, yes.
Like mindfulness and meditation.
Exactly.
So how are those different?
Well, these practices go beyond quick stress relief.
Okay.
They're about cultivating deeper awareness and peace. Actually changing how your brain responds to stress over time.
So let's start with mindfulness. What exactly does that mean?
Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Noticing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them.
So being present in your body and mind.
Yes.
Not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future.
Exactly. And the blog highlights how mindfulness can be practiced in everyday activities like eating, walking, or even washing dishes.
So it's not about sitting on a cushion chanting Om for hours.
Not necessarily, though. Meditation is a form of mindfulness.
Okay.
The key is bringing that non-judgmental awareness to whatever you're doing.
So when you're eating, you're truly savoring the taste, texture, smell of the food.
Yes.
Not just shoving it in while scrolling through social media.
Exactly.
By bringing that level of attention to everyday experiences,
Right.
you're training your brain to be more present, focused, and less reactive to stress.
That's it.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like mental weightlifting, building those awareness muscles.
Exactly.
And of course, we have meditation, which is, like we said, a type of mindfulness practice.
It is.
So what's the difference then?
Well, meditation typically involves focusing on a single point.
Like what?
Your breath, a mantra, or even a physical object.
Yeah.
With the goal of quieting the mind and cultivating inner peace.
And the blog post emphasizes that there are many different types of meditation.
There are.
So you can find one that resonates with you.
Right.
There's guided meditation, where you listen to someone leading you through a visualization or relaxation technique.
Yeah.
Walking meditation, where you focus on the sensations of your feet on the ground.
Right.
There's even loving kindness meditation,
That's a good one.
cultivating compassion for yourself and others.
It is.
And meditation has some amazing benefits for both physical and mental health.
It does.
The blog mentions lower blood pressure, reduced anxiety and depression,
Yeah.
improved sleep, even a boosted immune system. That's impressive.
It really is.
And you don't need hours of meditation to reap those benefits.
You don't.
Even a few minutes a day can make a difference.
Absolutely. And there are so many great resources available now.
Like what?
Like apps and online courses to guide you.
So there's really no excuse not to give it a try. Okay, we've covered relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and meditation.
Yeah.
All great tools for managing stress.
They are.
But what about minimizing the impact of those pesky modern-day stressors themselves?
That's a great question, and the blog offers some helpful advice on that front as well.
Okay, what is it?
The first step is identifying your personal stress triggers.
So what are the things that send you into fight or flight mode? Work deadlines.
Yeah.
Financial worries. Social media overload. Relationship conflicts. Something else entirely.
It could be any of those things.
Once you know your triggers, you can develop strategies for minimizing their impact.
Right.
So if work deadlines are a major stressor for me, maybe I need to work on time management skills.
That could help.
Set realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Or delegate tasks when possible.
Good idea.
And if financial worries are keeping me up at night,
Yeah.
maybe I need to create a budget,
That's smart.
explore ways to increase my income,
Good idea.
or seek financial advice.
If you need to.
And if social media is a major source of stress,
Okay.
maybe I need to take a break, limit my screen time, or unfollow accounts that make me feel anxious or inadequate.
Those are all good strategies.
It's about being proactive.
Liz.
Reducing the amount of stress in my life.
Right.
You can't always control what happens, but you can control your response.
That's empowering. And the blog also highlights the importance of self-care.
Yeah, self-care. Tell me more about that.
Self-care is not selfish. It's essential for managing stress and maintaining well-being.
What are some examples of self-care?
Anything that helps you feel good physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually.
So getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, moving your body, spending time in nature, connecting with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, engaging in activities that bring you joy.
Precisely. Make self-care a non-negotiable part of your daily routine.
So it's not something you just squeeze in when you have time.
Right.
It's a priority.
It should.
Because when you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way.
Absolutely.
And you're setting a good example for others.
That's a great point. Prioritizing self-care shows the people around us that it's okay to take care of themselves, too.
It's like a ripple effect of well-being.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From understanding the science of the fight-or-flight response to debunking common myths.
Yeah.
And we've explored an arsenal of techniques for managing stress.
Right.
And emphasized the importance of self-care and proactive stress management.
We did.
The key takeaway is that you have the power to choose how you respond to stress.
You do.
You're not a victim of your biology.
Nope.
You can learn to work with your stress response rather than against it.
Absolutely.
But I imagine it can feel overwhelming, knowing where to start.
It can.
Where do we begin to put all of this into action?
That's a great question, and that's what we'll be addressing in the final part of our deep dive. We'll explore how to put all of this knowledge into action.
Okay.
And create a personalized stress management plan that works for you. Stay tuned.
We've been on quite the journey, exploring this whole stress response thing.
We have.
Unearthing its ancient origins.
Yeah.
Exploring how modern life kind of hijacks it.
Right.
And discovering this whole toolkit of stress-busting techniques.
A whole arsenal.
So now I'm really excited about this part.
Me too.
Putting all this knowledge into action.
It's the most important part.
Building our personalized stress management plan.
Exactly.
Our roadmap to a calmer, more resilient us.
That's the idea.
Okay, I'm ready to build this roadmap.
Okay, great.
So where do we even begin?
Well, the first step is taking stock.
Yeah.
Your current stress levels.
Okay.
How stressed are you feeling right now?
That's a good question.
And what are the biggest sources of stress in your life?
Right, so the blog post suggests keeping a stress journal for a week or two,
Okay.
tracking your stress levels throughout the day, and identifying the situations, people, or even thoughts that trigger those responses.
It's like becoming a detective of your own stress.
Oh, I like that.
Once you understand your personal stress patterns,
Yeah.
you can develop those targeted coping strategies we talked about.
So, for example, if my stress journal reveals that my morning commute is a consistent trigger,
Okay.
maybe I need to explore a new route, listen to calming music, or even practice deep breathing in the car.
Exactly.
Or if my journal shows certain people or social situations that consistently trigger my stress response,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to set some boundaries,
Okay.
limit my exposure, or practice assertive communication.
Those are good strategies.
So it's about becoming the architect of my environment,
In a way, yes.
minimizing the impact of those external stressors.
Right.
But what about those internal stressors?
Okay.
What about those racing thoughts and anxious feelings?
That's where those stress-busting techniques come in.
Oh, right. Our toolkit.
Exactly.
Deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation,
Yeah.
visualization, mindfulness, meditation, self-care.
All of it.
Wow, so many options. It's like having a whole menu of stress-relieving strategies.
It is.
But how do I know which ones to choose?
Experimentation is key.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
It's all about finding what resonates with you and fits into your lifestyle.
Sure.
Some people thrive on daily meditation,
Okay.
while others prefer incorporating short bursts of deep breathing or visualization throughout their day.
So it's about finding what feels good and sustainable.
It is.
But just like any new skill, we need to practice right.
Absolutely. Consistency is key.
What do you mean?
You wouldn't expect to see results from hitting the gym once a month, would you?
No.
Same goes for stress management.
I see.
Make it a habit,
Right.
something you do consistently, even when you're not feeling particularly stressed.
So it's like brushing my teeth or taking a shower.
Right.
I do it every day, not just when I feel dirty or my breath smells bad.
Exactly.
The more you practice these techniques, the more natural and effortless they become.
It's true.
You're basically building those mental muscles we talked about, strengthening your resilience.
That's the goal.
Okay, so to recap, the key steps to building our personalized stress management plan are:
Yes.
number 1, take stock of my current stress levels.
Okay.
Number 2, identify my personal stress triggers.
Good.
Number 3, choose techniques that resonate with me.
Yeah.
And number 4, make stress management a regular part of my routine.
That's a great summary.
I think I got it.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
There will be times when you feel more stressed than others.
That's true.
There will be times when you forget to practice your techniques.
It happens.
And that's okay.
So it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, you're not alone in this. Stress is a universal human experience. By understanding how it works and developing healthy coping mechanisms. Yeah.
We can all learn to navigate the challenges of modern life with more grace, resilience, and ease.
And that's what this whole deep dive has been all about.
It is.
Empowering you to understand your stress response.
Right.
take control, and create a life that feels calmer, more balanced, and more fulfilling.
Absolutely.
So what's next?
Now that you have this knowledge, what one small change are you going to make today to manage your stress better? Think about it, experiment, and find what works for you.
That sounds like a great plan.
We're cheering you on.